Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is CheeseBoy628 here today giving you week 7 of NPL Season 4. So, as we stepped off last week, you can see our record is getting better. It's definitely getting better and I'm liking this. We went from being 1-2 as of week 3, going all the way, basically taking it as great as we can thus far, to be 4-2 currently. So things are pretty good. This week we are facing the Portland Timburrs, which are headed by Togovar, and he was undefeated until as of recent, where he lost to San Antonio Swampers, which I beat, and then Toronto Star Raptors, who are still undefeated, and I lost to as well. So it'll definitely be a very interesting battle, especially because when you go to the team standings, I believe, you'll see that he's 4-2. As am I. I have a differential of 8, he has a differential of 10. So basically, whoever wins this, I think snags 3rd place, as of now, I believe. So, that's definitely something to look forward to, especially when you look at the playoff bracket, and depending on which route you take, depends on how close you can necessarily get to facing Jolt, but you know, I'm fearless anyway, and like, I'll totally destroy him, so like, it's not even a worry where I place. No, but basically it'll just give me a slightly more helpful position. With that said though, we need to do some team building, so why don't we? So, kind of going from here, I did a little bit of analysis of the mons that he commonly uses. He always uses Mega Gardevoir, and I believe he always uses Cress. So those are 2 that I automatically need to prepare for. With that said, I've had a couple of mons in mind that I want to put on the team. One is B-Sharp, because his only resist is a Azumarill, and that's not exactly a switch in. Plus he'll be very helpful to help against his Crest that is more than likely going to try setting up. However, I don't know exactly what item I want to use on it, as I don't know if I want to make it SD or have Stealth Rock or the like. So that's kind of where I am at that. Because when I look at my team, the things that can get up rocks are Diancie and B-Sharp. And so I don't really have many options with that. So if B-Sharp runs rocks, then that's cool, but like Diancie, what am I going to do about Diancie? That's kind of the situation that I kind of have to deal with. So that's that. What I think though is this is actually one instance where I really think Diancie is not going to do very well against his team. He has Scizor, Steel type, need I say more? Nidoqueen, Earth Power is going to hurt a lot if not kill me. Melodic, Water type. I don't know, it's just not a good situation. Especially defensive would be my best bet, but even then, it's like, it's not going to do very well, I don't think. Like, I'm looking at it now and I'm almost convincing myself again that like, it's going to work, but I just don't have the confidence in that working out. I mean, I don't see Sludge Wave being a notably better move. So, Sludge Bomb it is, as of now. The next situation is that there's another 4-move pool syndrome, because as dual stab is guaranteed. Like, I need to run that for both Gardevoir and Cress alike. Also, how does it fare against Cress? It's a guaranteed to a KO, but if it gets to +1 Spadef, then it does about 40 as opposed to it originally being able to do 60. So it should still be a 2 KO. So that's good to know. Good to know as well. So yeah, going from here, the reason I have 4-move syndrome is I want to run sub in case a Scizor comes in where I can then surprise it with HP Fire. However, that's 2 moves that are deliberately against Scizor, and the chance of him coming in for free is 0 because I'm going to be spamming Sludge Bomb or Shadow Ball. Now I think about it, I don't really need Sludge Bomb that much. I do in the case that Azumarill is a thing, and like, it's gonna I fear that it's going to be a thing. If Azumarill's banded, does it kill? With Aqua Jet? It does not. Interesting. That's cool. I mean, Life Orb after one hit will likely put me in range, or after 2 hits will put me in range. But until then, I should be okay. I'm not even dead after rocks, so that's pretty cool. Plus I have 16 HP EVs, so I mean, hey, almost safe after 2 hits, but not guaranteed. That's not really the point though, but I do need to run Sludge Bomb. It's just going to be a good move to use. Basically, I can also choose to run Icy Wind because if Terrakion comes in and it turns out to be Scarf, it's going to be able to take a hit against me. But like, you don't really expect it to come in. So like Icy Wind would be good for Garchomp and Nidoqueen. However, Shadow Ball does better against Nidoqueen anyway. And yeah, it's not going to be that good of a move, in my opinion, the more I think about it. And so I could also run Destiny Bond. And I was really thinking Destiny Bond would be good because his only Mon with priority, well, Mons with priority are Azumarill, Hariyama, and Scizor. Hariyama has Fake Out, potentially having Bullet Punch, so that could potentially be a problem, as I say potentially 3 times. Scizor is really my only big gripe against my Gengar. But yeah, like the rest of his team can kind of just spam attack moves and then take it out from there. But they're all slower, which is why I think Destiny Bond is a pretty cool move. Plus it'll put some nice mind games in his head. And basically just go from there. Give it, just in case, give it 8 to outspeed Zapdos if need be, and it's defensive. I'm definitely wanting to run that because I needed a physical wall, and this Manaphy could potentially sweep his entire team. Okay, so let's see. Can I use Magnezone? It resists Hyper Voice. Obviously, Focus Blast is going to kill it. But perhaps I could even run Chople for all I know. I don't know yet. That actually could be really nice. If I run Chople, that may be able to take on Hariyama for 1 hit. It's going to be able to take a close combat from Terrakion, hopefully, and then a Focus Blast from Mega Gardevoir. So let's do some calcs. I'm gonna run max HP in that case for sure. Choice specs, let's give it max HP. And let's give it frickin' Chople Berry. So, Terrakion. Close combat. I'll do 60, let's make sure, yeah. So Chople is calced here. So yeah, it would do 65 to 77. And then Flash Cannon almost kills it if I'm max HP modest. So that's good to know. What else? What else? If I face Hariyama, will I live? I doubt it, to be honest. Let's pretend it's Choice Banded. Wow, it doesn't kill. And I say that with the Choice Band assuming his normal Toxic Orb is going to be in effect. So I will be able to live it. Cool. Chople Magnezone. I'm running it. And then I want to see how the calcs fare against Mega Gardevoir. Whoa, holy special set for Gardevoir. Not what I'm looking for. OE Wall Breaker. Focus Blast will do about half, and then Flash Cannon almost kills. So rocks are just going to be exceptionally important for this game, which is why I almost want to run a sash, but I don't know, that's kind of my gist. I need to figure out what I want to run on Latias, because it's going to be one of my defensive mons. It's going to have to take a lot of hits, I feel, especially of Terrakion. But the combination of Terrakion and Gardevoir is just going to be really good against my team. But yeah, we're running Chople. We're running frickin' Chopleberry. Because why the frick not? Because literally why not? Flash Cannon is going to be an exceptionally good move. Thunderbolt, because damage, should be able to take out most Azumarill types. Maybe not an Assault Vest variant. Yeah, that won't kill. But it'll do a lot of damage, and that's great. Volt Switch for momentum, and Hidden Power Fire. Have the Hidden Power Fire. Because why not? And if it decides to superpower, I'm going to be able to take the hit, I believe. He has 65 speed. If he runs 4 EVs, he's at 167. Should I hit 168? I'm debating because then that gives me 204 HP EVs. And obviously that's not ideal, but it outspeeds Caesar. If we go back to Terrakion, I'll do 68 to 80. And Gardevoir will do about half. While Flash Cannon's still going to do as much because it's going to be modest. A Caesar's banded superpower is not going to kill. Because amazing. If he happens to run more speed than this, okay, that's fine, but I'm going to be able to live it nonetheless, and Caesar is going to go down. So I like this a lot. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. I wonder if he's going to have Shed Shell. I really doubt it because there's so many better moves on Caesar, but you never know, I suppose. So that gives us 4 mons. I hope that utility is going to work out. The rest of my team. I'm still a little bit worried about Volcarona. Okay, I think this confirms what I want to do. Psyshock does a lot to it. So, I'm going to run plus Spadef, minus attack, 100 investment, and then the rest go in defense. And that, I believe, is my final answer. So yeah, I think this will be okay. We have Life Orb, Stall Breaking Gengar. We have Latias, defensive Latias with Toxic in case things go haywire. We have Manaphy, defensive Manaphy that will potentially be able to sweep. We have Magnezone with a very interesting Chopleberry set. Diggersby, Adamant, Sash, ready to destroy lies. And then we got Caesar. Black Glasses with Stealth Rock and some pretty normal moves. So, I'm liking this team. A lot of it is very unexpected. B-Sharp and Gengar are moderately expected, but the rest of the team I don't have a ton of usage on. So, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about Mega Medi. Is that something I need to think about? Because I use it on every team. Well, almost every team. As well as Thundy. I used Diancie more, for crying out loud. Is Mega Medi good against his team though? Like, that's a thing. It's pretty good. This might change everything and I don't like it. Like, I'm not gonna say it's super good against his team, but it's pretty good. Cause Zen, high jump kick, ice punch, Zen, I suppose. Well, I have to choose between high jump kick and Zen versus ice punch, so that's kind of a thing. Probably Zen though. Like, Zen is the best option. So defensive guard chomp could be a bit of an issue with that. Now of course Crest and Gardevoir are going to be very okay against it. Unless I run dual priority, which wouldn't be bad. I usually run. Would be good, like Bullet Punch would be good against Terrakion and Gardevoir. One of my team would be willing to like do that though. Like potentially Magnezone, potentially Diggersby. B-Sharp kind of has to stay. The Stealth Rock is important in the case Volcarona is a thing. Wow, I've been looking at this for nearly 40 minutes. Like, I love this set of Magnezone, but is it going to be good? It's gonna trap Caesar. It's gonna be able to handle Gardevoir, and I kinda need to do that. Cause I mean, I could fake out and like try to damage Mega Gardevoir, but then you could go to Crest, and then I'd have to play mind games again. And like, plus it's going to do a ton of melodic, however high jump kick is obviously going to do a ton too. And he's probably preparing a decent amount for Mega Medi anyway. So like, I don't think I can get rid of Magnezone. Like, if there was one thing to get rid of, it would be Diggersby. Diggersby for Mega Medi. Which would be okay because, like, defense typing wise, it's good against Terrakion, Mega Medi is, as well as Hariyama. Could do a ton of damage to a Azumarill. The situation is dual priority. However, I'll get more priority with Mega Medi. But if things go haywire and Volcarona starts setting up, do I have something for it? Is he going to bring Volcarona? So that's where I am with that. And the fact that, let's see. Volk versus Mega Medi. Zen kills, because why wouldn't it? Fire Blast does not kill at max attack. However, I could get Flame Bodied with Fake Out. It does up to 40 though. Depends how defensive he is too, but 72 isn't like crazy. But the thing is, as soon as he's +1, I kinda lose. And that's why T-Wave is a good move, guys. So that's my struggle right now. If he has Roost Quiver, then he has to run probably Dual Stab, which is totally good against my team. Except for like Manaphy moderately. But if I am able to get off a Rain Dance and Fire Blast won't do a ton to me, and then I can go to Gengar, potentially Destiny Bond? Here. I'm so worried. Like, I need rocks if he brings Volcarona. I think I'm going to officially switch though. Like to Mega Medi. Run Fake Out. Bullet Punch. High Jump Kick. And Zen Headbutt. Next attack, Adamant. Because I don't want to do Speed Tide against Gardevoir. I just don't. Does it get Rock Slide though? Like, just wondering. It does. It gets Rock Tomb too, if I want to be edgy. I mean, Zen kills as well, so like, that's not even worth mentioning really. Does make contact, right? Zen does. Oh no. So that's where I am kind of with this. I have a week to think about it, so I'll probably get back to it then, and then try to figure it out then. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon when we battle. Well, in a week, so not so soon, but it's a pretty big battle, so that's why I'm worried about it. But see you guys soon. Okay, so I had to do a post-commentary of this because I battled Togue at a time when my roommate was here, but nonetheless, that didn't alter any distractions or like alter the game in any way. It was totally just playing the same, just this is going to be without live commentary, but I'll try to be as accurate as my thought process was at the time. So as you may already notice, I adjusted my team a fairly notable amount than I ended up having when I finished my live building session. So I wanted to explain why I made the alterations I did. So for one thing, I have Diancie. This was basically to replace Latios, which was going to be a mixed defensive one, as this one is specially defensive. This was meant to handle, my biggest fear honestly was, I didn't think he would bring Volcarona to be honest, but in the case that he did, if he got +1, like if he set up one Quiver Dance, he potentially would have swept my entire team, depending on his set, but like it was very, very real that could have happened. With that said, Diancie was great for a ton of things after all. First off, it's able to handle Volcarona by just being able to go, okay, Diamond Storm, dead, while also being able to handle its dual stab and even Giga Drain since I'd be specially defensive. Obviously I wouldn't do too well against Azumarill and Scizor, and even Hariyama to an extent, but as you can see by his team, I can take on Zapdos, I can take on Cress, and then there's also Gardevoir. So I also have Toxic on this besides my dual stab, and I also have Stealth Rock, so that gives more allowance to B-Sharp to be more offensive than it was originally. So Diancie ended up being a good mon after all. So it's able to Toxic Stall Cress in the case that he is a setup mon, but we'll get to that when we get there. So everything else is pretty normal except for, you see, I have Medicham instead of Diggersby. Well, since Diancie handles Medicham, I no longer really need a Diggersby, and I kind of forgot until the end of like, wait, I kind of have Mega Medicham, and his team does not like Mega Medicham. So I believe I have dual priority and dual stab on this, which ends up to be, as you can tell, very good. The only thing I would struggle against is Cress, and obviously I have a couple of things for that. B-Sharp, instead of Stealth Rock, I have Sucker Punch, Knockoff, Swords Dance, Iron Head, and I have Black Glasses, as I don't really need Iron Head damage with Life Orb, I guess except for Azumarill, but really it's just to handle Cress, or another way to handle Cress, and I have enough bulk that like makes me take a good series of hits, and that will come into play later, you'll see. So, with that said, with my explanations in hand, let us start the battle. So I start out with my Metacham because I just felt, looking at his team, although there were some things that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Let's go to his mons here. I thought that he would have brought potentially Nidoqueen or Terrakion. Like, I was expecting something that was going to be able to put up rocks, but he did not. So that was definitely caught me off guard. And I believe I already told you guys about my Choppleberry Magnezone. You'll see if that comes into play. Nonetheless, Metacham seems like a very fair thing to start with because that way I'm able to Mega Evolve. If it comes necessary that I need bulk or speed later, it'll be great. If Crest comes in, that's fine. I can go to my Diancie and then I can set up Stealth Rock or Toxic or something. So I just Mega Evolve, I Fake Out, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now, I don't see an item, so I'm a little confused. I don't know if he's like some choiced variant. I don't know. He took that hit fairly well. Like, Zapdos isn't that bulky, even if it's fully physically defensive. So I thought, let's just be safe, go to Diancie. Maybe he has a flying move. Well, he does have a flying move, but it's Tailwind. So this puts me in a pretty interesting situation, because, I mean, now he's going to have 3 turns of a really fast Mons, and I'm going to have to figure out what is on my defensive side that can really handle things. As you may or may not be able to tell, I like offense. So Diancie's kind of my defensive stronghold, but nonetheless I'm still able to get up rocks here, which is great because it also puts pressure on his Zapdos or maybe even Caesar if either of those are defoggers. So here I don't know what he's going to go for. Bullet Punch does not kill from full. It should be able to kill from that range though. Well, depending. He doesn't reveal the Toxic Orb, so I'm like, maybe he's banded. So he goes for the Heavy Slam, and like, that does a lot, but not like a huge ton. I wasn't sure though. I still wasn't sure if it was banded or not. But here, I just totally, despite being able to like go for the Zen Headbutt potentially, or I mean, High Jump Kick probably would have taken him out. I just felt it was kind of a risky play. I just didn't want to play too risky, I guess. If his Crest came in and like I die from recoil, like that would just be so unfortunate. So I just go for the Fake Out. Still does decent damage against his Caesar. So here's the thing. His Tailwind peters out, so I'm definitely going to be able to outspeed him. I believe I have EVs that are bulk invested, so you'll see how this comes into play right here. But I also should be able to outspeed. I do have Magnezone, so this is the kind of mind games that happen. This is a Steel type, and the Bullet Punch is fairly likely to kill. Well, at least he thinks so. So why would he lock himself in the Bullet Punch if he happened to be banded when I easily have a Magnezone that can come in? So I'm expecting him to either U-turn or double out. So I decide to stay in and just High Jump Kick. Well, he Bullet Punches and it doesn't kill me because of the bulk investment that I do have. And I believe that was a pretty average roll. So his Caesar goes down, and that's great, and that was honestly one of the biggest worries of my Diancie, so that alone has a good chance of doing a lot of things. Now, Azumarill comes in, and so this is another great situation where, is he going to be Belly Drum? If he's Belly Drum, I really couldn't care less because I have dual priority, and then I have plenty of things to take it on. It's fine. Let's see what I go into here. I'm not sure if I go to Manaphy. I go directly to Magnezone. Okay, take his Aqua Jet. I think that's a good middleman play because that way if he play rough the net, he was banded, that would do way too much to my Manaphy. Even though I'm defensive Rain Dance, I want to be able to have a chance to optimally set up. So Magnezone comes in here, and still not really sure what his set is. I'm super free to go for a Volt Switch right now. I might even T-Bolt here, I'm not sure. But as he does bring in the Hariyama, I go for the Volt Switch. Okay, and that was my better play considering that I find out here that he's pretty sure he's Assault Vest. So Hariyama's in here. I'm very free to Fake Out as he finally brings in his Crest. And this is okay because like I get some damage on it, I get to figure out a little bit about it. Gosh dang it, why do I have to get alerts now about my calendar? So I bring in my Diancie here as his Crest sets up One Calm Mind. I don't know if he's going to try setting up more right now, if he's going to try to sweep as much as he can, but nonetheless, I'm pretty free to Toxic here, as I am. Interesting situation, though, is that I go for the Toxic as he brings in the Hariyama, in a very, like, that was definitely a very good play on his part. And in the chat, there's a ton of, just the commentary is F, and that's all it says from a bunch of people, because they're like, yep, this is a Guts Hariyama that's about to hit me with a lot of choice banded power moves. So I need to figure out what's going on here. I go to my Magma Zone really just to sack it, / maybe even take a close combat with my Choppleberry, but he just goes for the Heavy Slam, and so that's totally fine by me. I go for the Thunderbolt here to get some decent damage before I die off, but he decides just to knock off, I guess potentially predicting my Gengar. So with that said, he also reveals a Bullet Punch though, so I don't know, it was a really interesting situation on his part, but I am able to take out that threat somehow. So I bring in my Gengar against his Crest. I do the calcs and I'm pretty sure that Shadow Ball is not going to kill, and I believe that maybe it does up to 60. So I'm pretty free with going in my B-Sharp here because he's probably thinking, he wants to do a lot of damage to it or something. Well, that way I'm able to take advantage and go to B-Sharp to kind of over predict his prediction. So I don't know what you'd want to call that. Nonetheless, I'm able to take the Psyshock and be fine. I can, he Calm Minds here, which is interesting, as I knock off, and I almost take him out. So obviously now that I knocked him off, my next knockoff is not going to do as much. So as he Moonlights, I go for the Swords Dance. Here's the thing, I am slower all this time because I believe he's base 80 as I'm base 70, and I have some speed investment, but I kind of forgot to take into account that I would need to outspeed Crest, as I was trying to counter it in one way versus the other. Like I was trying to counter it just from taking special attacks, potentially HP fighting, but at the same time I probably should have had enough speed that I just can kill it off with knockoff. Nonetheless, I don't Sucker Punch here, not my best play I guess, but it works out because his HP fighting does not kill. And with the calcs he had a 12.5% chance to actually kill me, so it was definitely way in my favor. So the knockoff is able to take him out, and that's another Mon gone. And so this is going extremely well considering I have 6 Mons. So he brings in Zapdos again as he Tailwinds, and so yeah, I was honestly expecting him to Tailwind, which is why I stayed in to knock off. So he goes down, he does have the Yachi Berry, interestingly enough. I'm not sure what on my team would go for an Ice move that he was necessarily expecting. Maybe Ice Beam from Manaphy. I'm not sure what other Mons I would have brought that have Ice. Maybe Ice Punch from Reddichim? I don't know, question mark. So with that said though, I do have B-Sharp versus Azumarill here. I really expect him to go for the Aqua Jet, so I go to Manaphy. Honestly, I'm on a roll with a lot of these predictions, which is why things are pretty nice right now. So here he goes for the Play Rough, considering that he's not banded. That does not do enough since I am physically defensive. Then I burn him. I know it's very obvious that he wants to switch to Gardevoir here in the case that I want to Calm Mind, so I do go for the Scald once again, but I do not burn him. So here he Mega Evolves, of course, because he wants to get that Hyper Voice off, and I just stay in to sack my Manaphy. Well, I definitely would have lived, but he gets a crit. So I don't think that would have mattered too much because probably one of my Mons would have died to this thing at some point anyway, so that's fine and dandy. But this way I'm able to freely go into Medicham here, go for the Fake Out as he has the Protect, but Bullet Punch does kill from this range, so he's able to go down. So here, I wasn't sure if Bullet Punch was going to kill him from this range, so I go for the Zen in case he was like predicting me to switch out to something to absorb the Aqua Jet just for the case of differential, but he protects instead, and I don't agree with that play because if he wanted any chance of decreasing the differential in my favor, he definitely should have attacked there. Because now that puts him in Bullet Punch range and I take him out for the 5-0. So definitely an interesting battle. I really just had the upper hand for a lot of the battle. I just made a lot of good plays, I suppose. I'm not going to say it in any egotistical sense, but Toge, he used to be an undefeated player, he used to be one of these top undefeateds, and now he's unfortunately on a roll for a couple of losses here. But definitely think he can make a comeback for sure. This does put me in 3rd place, I believe, though, which is great. I'm not sure how that works in regards to playoff bracket. I believe 6 teams play, but I'm not sure where that would put me, whether I have to face Toronto or Atlanta. Toronto's first, Atlanta's second, in regards to who I have to face for semis. So, in the case that I get there. But with that said, we still have a couple battles to go for sure. As next week we will be facing the Montreal Cobalions, I believe they're called. with the correct pronunciation. So we have that to look forward to and got some team building to do. Yeah, so this battle actually happened a couple hours after I finished editing the team the second time around, like with this actual layout that I made with Diancie and Mega Medi. So I have about a week to kind of rest up. By the time this goes up, I don't, but I still have that whole week. But right now, take a breather real quick, spend a little more time thinking about how to handle the rest of the season. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. We certainly made a comeback for the ages thus far in the season. We did not start out super swell. I just realized you guys can't see everything that I'm seeing. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. We're still trying to climb. So thanks for watching, like, comment, sub, until later. Peace.